So far on the safeties.
I think we're having a really good camp. Of course, having Nico Whitley back, and as the veteran leader of our secondary, he's having a really good camp. He's come back, he's healthy, he's playing fast, and he's making a really big difference in our secondary. He and Jay both started a few games toward the end of the season last year, and they have some experience, and they really play well together. They feed off of each other with enthusiasm. Really, D. Arrington is having a fine camp, and we're really excited to see what he's going to do this year. Finally getting a chance to be a junior, and he's really improved his game. And Kendrick Market had a great spring, as good a spring as any player we had on defense, and he's come back and playing. And we've got those guys, D and Kendrick, playing some nickel dime roles in some of our other packages when some of our third down stuff. So they should get a lot of action this year, as many spread teams as we play. And then Deontay Evans has really come on. He's very athletic. He's still learning, still has a learning curve. But as far as athletic ability, he has athletic ability. He can tackle, he can run, he has good hands and very good instincts. So I think he's going to be a good one. And Quadre Anton is the other young kid that's competing for playing time back there.
How is Nico's? I mean, you talked about not being. He was going to push through it last year, but he knew he wasn't himself, physically 100%. How is that seeing him now, back to his old self? How does that help him mentally out there?
Well, he elected to come back for his 5th year. So with that came he knew what to expect and knew what to do, and in doing those things. He's so he's a smart kid. I mean, he's a great student, and now he's become a student of the game because he wants to carry his game to the next level.
You talked about his leadership role. How has he kind of displayed that?
He is a guy that when he is on the field, he knows what he's doing, fundamentally, technique-wise, coverage-wise. So being out there and playing as many games as he has kind of puts him a step of the curve in a lot of, not every situation, but a lot of situations. Okay, I've seen this before. I know exactly what this is, and so he knows how to react and how to play before things happen.
When you look at the communication within the defense, I think Jeff Combs talked about how he was so almost one with Cam Lawrence and John Banks. How has he kind of developed those relationships with maybe a Bernard or anyone else on that defense?
They do. They feed off of each other. Like I said earlier, Nico and Jay really feed off of each other at the safety position, and then the safeties have to connect to the linebackers with Bernardrick and Matt and Bohanna and those guys, and so they've played together for a while, and they just have to continuing to feed off of each other as we continue to improve as a team.
How do you feel like Jay's progressed? Coach Collins talked about just how smart he is back there and how he's just kind of the brains of the secondary. How's he progressed, and how do you feel like he's going to do in his first year as a full-time starter?
He's progressed really well. He's a product of our program. What Coach Mullen built our program on was developing kids, taking the best athletes in the state of Mississippi and putting them in a program where they can one day be successful and be outstanding football players. And Jay is just a product of the system because he started out as a corner. Came here as a running back in high school, redshirted as a corner. He was behind Banks, Slay, and Broomfield, some really good players. Didn't get to play much, and then we moved him to safety, and he was behind Mitchell, Bonner, and Whitley, and he didn't get to play much. And so he learned how to play special teams, learn how to play be a role player as a nickel dime, a situation player, and then when he got his opportunity to play, he's really played well. He's gone out in SEC venues and made plays, and that's the thing that has to continue to grow. Is now he's got to go from a role player, a situation player, to a guy that can become a really good SEC player.
I know he just had a few college practices, but in high school, Brandon Wells was a guy that kind of played everywhere. play different positions, and when you got up here, maybe receiver or safety. How is he, what have you seen from him early at that safety position?
He is really fast and he's really athletic. And again, we are a developmental program. We take kids like a Brandon Wells who played everything. I mean, quarterback, receiver, defensive back, kick returner. Now he is playing one position and he has to learn, the fundamentals and techniques of that position.
Talking to Jay in the spring, he said that now he's got more confidence back there. He's willing to talk to older guys. Was he really talkative as a kid too, or is he? You see a little different out there?
No, he's Jay has always been a very, very fierce competitor. He never talked a lot, but when he was growing up, junior high, he was a quarterback. He was a quarterback in the 10th grade, and so he had to call the signals, and so he's always been in a leadership role, whether he's kind of calm and cool and collective, but he's kind of grown out of that shell here because not only confidence in playing his position, but the program gives him confidence. Say, hey, I've worked my butt off to get this opportunity, and now is my time to shine. So I'm going to do everything I can to be successful. And he's earned respect from the players, so they look at him. Here's a guy that does things the right way.
We were talking about that. He's in college. So you're a coach in the field. He said, no, we've already got one Coach Hughes. We don't need two.
Yeah.
What does kind of Jeff Collins bring to the table as a defensive coordinator?
Enthusiasm, excitement. He is energetic, and the kids like playing for him because he does things sometimes off the cuff, juice and mayhem, and the kids love that because it's different. He thinks out of the box, which that's what Coach Mullen loves. Coach Mullen don't want a bunch of robot coaches. He wants coaches that are innovative and cutting edge, and that's what Jeff is. He's got a lot of energy.
How much does that trickle down to maybe you guys as a coaching staff?
Oh, it does trickle down because in this program, that's what we're required to do. We're all required to think out of the box, be innovative, not just, we did it like this for 30 years and this is the way it's going to be, but to find ways to get kids to play hard and then at the same time, schematically, scheme-wise, be in the cutting edge of football and get the kids to play excited.
One thing that obviously displays the contact of the head rules, the high hits, things like that. How difficult a challenge is that to teach these guys? Because you got a bunch of aggressive guys like Nico who it's hard for them to check up and still be a good player.
Actually, we started a couple of years ago and really last year started emphasizing that, and the rule change, has constantly been evolving to this. In the game of football, the game has just changed. When I was coming along, you had the assassin, Jack Tatum and George Atkinson and Mel Blunt and those type of guys. And I started telling the kids, that style of play is not allowed anymore. It's just changed. It's just evolved. And if you're going to be a really good player, you have to change and evolve. And as coaches, we have to change and evolve. And that, the rules are the rules, and we have to play by the rules.
You talked about D. Arrington a little bit earlier. What have you seen in his offseason and even throughout the camp to increase that playing time?
Oh, great. He's just, he has a great deal more confidence now. Being in the system now for 3 years, and like I said, we're a developmental program, so he has developed. He again, as Paul said earlier, was one of those kids that did a little bit of everything. In high school, he was a quarterback, he was a running back, he was a defensive back, he was, and so now learning how to play one position and all of the ins and outs of that position, it takes some kids a little bit longer, but in his third year, he's been an outstanding special teams player. He's a great team player, and now is my time to shine. I'm ready, Coach. Put me on the field. I'm ready to go out there and make plays.
Tony, I apologize it's been asked, but go back to the recruiting process. Did you have reservations about bringing Jay in and kind of that kind of awkward dynamic of coaching your son?
Well, here is in the recruiting process of Jay, and as when I came here, I told Coach Mullen about my son was going to be, a highly recruited athlete, and he said, "I want you out of that. I want him to come to Mississippi State because he feels like Mississippi State is the best place for him." So him, my wife, and Jay, and the other coaches that was in the recruiting process, they were the ones that really, I guess you say, spent more time and more conversations and things like that with him. And my wife had a major role in that. And then when he got here, starting out, he didn't play for me. He played corner.
Right.
So that, was a great adjustment player. Then when he was moved to safety, it became a situation. It's not really an awkward situation because he has developed in the program. Nobody has given him anything. He's earned it the hard way, just like a D. Arrington or just like a Nico Whitley, who was redshirted as a freshman. People don't remember that. So Caleb Ewells and Matt Wells, all of those guys that are playing for us were redshirted. They were all Jamion. They were all in the same class together. So they bonded together, came here together, and now they're playing together.
You didn't have a conversation with Jay or even afterwards with your wife going, he didn't come here because I'm here, right?
Well, here's what happened. My wife took him around to different campuses all over the country, and when they got ready to make the final decision, she said, "Baby, I'm not driving 8 hours to watch you play every Saturday."
Okay.
So.
Competition and all the work's going over there at the cornerback positions.
We cornerback, man. We athletes, so we go out and compete every day. But we're a unit. We all know we got to play. So, the competition gonna be there, but we all know we got to play. So everybody playing, competing like we'll start. We all starters.
I know there's competition everywhere on defense, and you want to make your reps count. But with y'all's group, when it's you and whether it's Justin Jamerson or Giles going in there getting one reps, how crucial are those reps when you're in there to perform?
No, every rep is crucial. You want to go out there and get better every day, as a defense, as a player too. So, we take every rep serious. We want to make every rep count. So every rep, pretty serious.
In your mind, what does Justin bring to the table? What does he bring to the group that others, guys just physically maybe just don't have?
Oh, he real fast. He probably one of the fastest guys on the team. But he a good player also. He's just an overall athlete. We use him good on defense. I ain't gonna lie, he one of the best athletes on the team.
He hasn't played a lot of corners. Is he asking you a lot of questions about either technique or what he's seeing out there? He's been playing a lot of safety before.
He had more just along the line like the defense, just the scheme. He a good athlete, so he pick up on everything pretty fast. So he just more trying to learn the defense, So he caught on the corner pretty fast.
Coach Townsend talked about yesterday how much you were kind of a film study, right? And said, everything you see there, you take immediately to the field. Don't have to tell you twice about it. Is that something you started in high school, studying the game that much like that?
Yeah, it's something. It just helps give you an edge. Just the whole defense. Try to be one of the smartest players on the field. So it gives you an advantage. When you're out there.
When you're looking at the film, what are you looking for? Do you look at individuals? Do you look at the overall offense? What are you looking for?
First, I start with myself. Then I try to pick up, what other players on our defense do. Because if you know what the other players is doing, it'll help you. And I try to look at our offense, see what receivers like to do when they run a certain routes, see what the quarterback what they do when they check. So I just study the film in depth, try to give me an edge any way I can.
It's really helpful this preseason, especially to have a guy like Tyler and all those different receivers over there to really test y'all out.
Yeah, it helped a lot. Tyler one of the best in the game. Even when you think you got somebody covered, he can still stick it in there. So it gives a good competition every day, day in, day out. So you got to really work on your technique.
Give us kind of an expert's opinion on what you think of those freshman receivers.
Oh, they big. Real big. So
used to that.
They real big. They got a lot to learn, but they caught on pretty fast. I think they're gonna be real good, especially Jay. He's coming along real good. It's hard when he going deep. It's hard to stop. And he real big. But I think all the freshman receivers doing pretty good. I think they're gonna be real good.
What are your thoughts on opening up with Oklahoma State? They're going to go 4 or 5 wide pretty much every play. So you're going to be out there an awful lot.
You just accept the challenge, man. That's one thing Coach tells us, we accept the challenge every day. Every day we come in, we're going to be a different challenge, different mindset. We just go out there and accept the challenge, and just try to win it as a team. It's not going to all be on the corners or the secondary. It's going to be on the whole team. So we all just got to accept the challenge.
How much fun has it been in the spring and preseason now? Because for 2 or 3 years, cornerback's been pretty well set, and now it's wide open. Everybody going at it, and nobody's guaranteed a job, starting job right now.
Yeah, it make it more fun because it's your time now. It's been fun before, but it's your time now, so you got to take it more serious. You have a bigger purpose when you go to practice, so it make it more fun. You got to take it more serious too. So you look forward to practice now.
Mentally, what do you need as a corner? Like the mental buildup, you know what I mean? In the sense that a lot of times you're out on the island by yourself with that wide receiver. What do you need to be mentally strong as a corner?
You just got to trust your technique, and you got to be able to forget things fast. That's what I would think. And you got to be a smart player also. If you have those 3 things, I think you could be a good corner if you trust your technique and be smart and, be able to forget, because, receivers going to catch passes because, like Coach always say, they on scholarship too. So you be able to forget things fast, be smart, and trust your technique. I think you can be a good corner.
Louisiana Heat. Well, talk about the camp so far. How's it going?
It's been pretty good. We as a team we grew close as a unit, especially on defense, and we just been out there grinding, trying to change the minds of people because a lot of people have us picked last. So we just been out there in camp, just learning about what we have to do, as a team to prove a lot of people wrong this year.
Quadri, what did you use to kind of improve on in your redshirt year, and how did that help you for this year?
I just, during the off season, I stay after with Nico and, just learn from him. And, he helped me with my technique and I got in the playbook. So I've been learning, different, what to do in different situations, and my footwork and my technique has gotten better. And, just learning from him, he also, showed me how to accept my role on the team, whether it's special teams, playing on the field, whichever way is better to help the team. I just learned that from him.
You're a hard hitter. Nico takes it to another level, though. What have you learned from him as far as hitting?
Actually, he's the reason why I started hitting like that in high school.
Really?
Yes, because I never really watched football, and when I did, it was always, being from Louisiana, I would watch LSU, and I watched Chad Jones, and then when Mississippi State started recruiting me, I started watching them, and I just started watching how Nico play and how he hit, and talking with my dad, he's like, I need to step my game up a little, and learning from him and how aggressive of a player he is, but sometimes he could be, that player to step back and also play the pass. So just learning from him and watching the way he practice and play, it helped me learn how to practice and play like an older guy. He's a great role model to the defensive back, especially the safeties, because we learn a lot from him, and he's always willing to help us.
How has the rule changes with the hitting maybe changed the way that you attack a player or something like that?
Well, last week in the scrimmage, I had a hit, and Coach Mullen explained to me it changed my game, Nico and D. Arrington game, because all 3 of us are big hitters, and it's a different way now. Instead of launching our bodies, and you pretty much have to run through the defender, and it has to be lower. I think it's lower than the sternum on down. So it changed a lot because now most of the time we'll always go for the headshot. Kill shot, but now you gotta go with your shoulder, you gotta make sure you have your head turned a certain way. It changed the game a lot, but that's another thing we've been working on a lot in open field road tackling, so to keep our players on the field and keep the penalties down.
How long does it take? Have y'all figured that out yet, or is it something you're still having to think about?
I still think about it. I don't know about Nico and D, but I know at times whenever I have a shot, I'll pull up and try to figure out how to approach the player, because sometimes it does mess with me a little bit, wondering how I'm approaching. But other than that, I just go out there and play as fast as I can and just give good effort. And if it happens, it happens. If it don't, I luck up.
So how do you intimidate wide receivers now if you can't scare them so much because they may get hit really hard?
That's a good question.
In other words, you're not sure how to answer it.
Yes, sir. I just have to see when the time comes to. If I had to take the shot, hopefully Coach Mullen will understand and not jump on my time. But until then, I just have to figure it out.
Are you much of a talker? I mean, would you talk to them on the field, say if the rules hadn't changed, that last hit I made on you might have hurt you a little bit more? Just kind of make them think about it a little bit.
Yeah, well, last year coming in, I was a little nervous, amongst the older guys. But once I settled in and got my feet in playing in the program, I mean, I'm always out there talking and messing around with our receivers. So I'm saying, I guess, against another team, they wouldn't even faze me. So I'll probably still talk a lot of trash and just get on with it.
It's about kind of earning your way on special teams, and that's something that you really did the past 2 years. How has that helped your game overall and just make you really just a better defender?
I mean, like I said, special teams, like I'm on basically all the special teams, and when I first got on there, I was not doing all that like I want to really just do it, but now I know I got to do it, so I get out there and I try to do the best, and it just follow up.
How much, I guess not pressure, but with the corners being inexperienced, but you guys have experience as safeties, I mean, how much you guys kind of leading the way and helping some of those guys?
I mean, it basically like when I came in, they had to always teach me, so I mean, it basically communication on the back end. As long as everybody talking, we always on the same page. We together.
Coach Hughes talked about in high school you had played a lot on both sides of the ball. Can you talk about that transition from Stone County up here and how you kind of had to focus in on that one position?
I mean, okay, well, when I came up here, I was just going to be defense for me, but in high school I played both sides. I always loved defense, so it wasn't too bad. The only thing, I wasn't playing on defense. I just had to learn how to play on special teams, so it was, at first, I felt kind of bad sitting on the other sideline, but I knew that was my job, sitting over there on the sideline, learning how to play the game the right way. So it's nothing now.
You were a star in high school. How difficult was it to get up here and realize it's just going to take time to develop? How did you handle that the first couple of years?
Well, I just knew I had to come up here to learn. All these older guys was ahead of me, and they was that much ahead of me, so I always asked them questions, trying to figure out what they were doing, how they read plays, what they do in situations, and basically I try to learn everything possible to step my game up that much more.
You've got a lot of coast talent up here with you, like Richie Brown, Nick James, on that defensive side of the ball. You talked to them much? It's just strange that you played against them in high school and now you're on the same team. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, I mean, I played against them in high school, but we all together now.
Any other questions for D?